There's some fatigue if you look out there at A.D. Smith. He's got his hands on his hip. He's trying to draw some deep breaths. But again, if Churchill does not get him the basketball in their offense, then they're going to struggle in this ball game tonight.
Mike Wade takes a seat. Paul Junkins in to replace him.
I think that's good strategy on Coach's part.
Make it 5 straight for Jefferson. Ime Udoka has 8. I like Ime's attitude. He said his goals this year are to stay happy and play hard.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be fun. This is high school.
Sure, he's 4 for 4. He's having a blast. Hasn't missed a shot. It's an 11-point lead, 23-12. And out of bounds to Jefferson. A.D. Smith thought it was deflected, but A.D., a very popular player, very popular student, was elected the student body president this year at Churchill High. 3.9 grade point average.
3.9?
Yep.
How did he make this team? There's a nice steal by Dan Ewis.
Nice play. All right, Churchill needing to control tempo. Right now, being a little bit overwhelmed by the Democrats, who have really come together as a team. And to a man, they point to the sub-tournament grind they had to endure. This team traveled 1,200 miles to win 3 sub-tournament games just to get here to start playing this week. They had to go to LeGrand and they had to go to Medford, and it brought them together. Brandon Hobson. He's got 4.
Well, Brandon Hobson's the spark you like to have to come off the bench, and that's why he's in there.
3:29 to go in the half. Jefferson is on a roll. They're leading by 13. Strategy update.
Yeah, out of that timeout, Coach John Roach at Churchill kind of talking to his star player, A.D. Smith. Everything sort of revolves around him. He wants him to play a little bit under control, a little more under control.
All right, 3:29 to go in the half. Nixick in trouble. Gets it to Ewis. Boy, the quickness of the Jefferson team, very evident. Nice pass by Smith to Junkins for 2. So Churchill makes the pressure work to their favor that time.
Did a nice job. Nixick broke the trap out here at the half court, and A.D. Smith did what Coach Roach said, which is, hey, play under control. And he did that and made the nice pass. But Churchill's going to have to do a better job offensively. They're struggling against that size and the quick hands that Jefferson's thrown at them.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the half. And we got a foul on Ewis. Tough assignment against Ime Udoka. Although Ewis is a tough defender. Rebounds and defense is his role.
He's drawn tough assignments every game in this tournament, but he's got a special one right now.
Hobson is off the mark. Is that the first miss this quarter? I think it's the first miss for Jefferson in the second quarter. Holding on to an 11-point lead as Churchill comes up court. Boy, Dirk Tyler was setting the trap there. And talk about defense. Dirk Tyler has some of the quickest feet in the tournament. He's an amazing defensive player.
He really is, and that's the reason he starts here on a very talented Jefferson team. He doesn't always provide a lot of offensive punch, but you can't get around what he contributes defensively.
Bobby Harris says he is the best defender on the team. Nixick started to shoot, thought better of it. He'll go to Murmo, and he's off the mark, and Brandon Hobson's having a big game today.
Well, here comes Mr. Sparkplug. That's Brandon Hobson. He's the kid that comes off the bench, makes a couple big plays.
And Kenny McDonald will call that a pass. Give me the assist and give Udoka the basket.
Well, he may have trouble with the official statistician on that one, but Jefferson could care less. Results the same.
Udoka now has 10, and it's a 27-14 ball game. This Jefferson team was 3rd in the PIL, and they are the team on the rise. They have hit this tournament and just gotten better each game. A.D. Smith is fouled.
Well, for all of Jefferson's strength on the boards there, Churchill had about 4 shots at the basket, so give them credit. They're battling. Here's Paul Junkins, get caught along the baseline. Dan Ewis has a nice shot, won't go in, grabs the rebound. Good, strong play back up. Here's A.D. Smith to the tip, grabs it, gets fouled.
Smith. What a great career. Most of the West Coast Conference teams very interested in A.D. Smith. Gonzaga, University of Portland said to be knocking on the door, and the hometown Oregon Ducks are even looking at A.D. now. A lot of people think maybe not the greatest, athletic ability, but he looks to me like a guy who just knows how to play the game and score when he gets the ball down there.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt he can play at an upper level. It just depends, I suppose, whether he's going to be a Pac-10 or where he's at. But, hey, he's a winner. He's a winner.
He's got 8 of the Lancers' 16.
Well, you hate to put this much pressure on the shoulders of the young man, but A.D.'s got to probably score 25 in this ball game.
Well,
in order to do that, he's got to get the ball in the right spots.
A.D. Smith has carried this team for 3 years. And remember, this Churchill team has been in this tournament 3 straight years, and they've come home with 3 straight trophies. And there's a nice shot.
John Charlton comes through right off the bench. John's a player who was in the Churchill program as a freshman, then moved to the Midwest for a couple years, and back he comes to contribute.
And he's got himself a rebound. A 9-point game.
You have to have those kinds of kids come off the bench and give you things.
Hasn't been asked for much yet in the tournament, but they need him tonight.
Yes, they do.
Setting up a play, they call it mixer. I know they've got me confused.
Well, we're not seeing a lot of movement here, and I'm not sure what's mixing.
The old two-hand set shot doesn't go for Charlton. Hobson will try to lead the break. Oh, beautiful speed to Kenny McDonald, and foul on Churchill, probably on Charlton. Whoop, they're going to call it on Junkins, his first. Team foul number 4 on Churchill.
Well, John Charlton made a nice shot, and I think he's got his confidence level a little too high. So the next time down the floor, he shoots again, but it's not, it's not the same quality shot he had the first time. That's the decision he's got to learn to make.
Jefferson's zone and their intensity on Smith has done a good job of keeping him from dominating the game. He really controlled the first half of the game last night when the Lancers surprised Benson. I mean, he just owned the court.
Well, there wasn't any doubt about it, and Jefferson's strategy has been perfect.
Tony Hobson has Bobby Harris getting up off a knee saying, what was that? And that'll be the end of the first half. So Jefferson opened up a lead of up to 13 points, but Churchill has rallied mildly to get back within 9 at 27-18. And the PIL looking for the title. And Phil Cassidy standing by with Jefferson head coach Bobby Harris.
Coach, you're just half away from your first state title. Can you guys play any better than you did in the first half?
We can play much better. We're throwing the ball away, turning the basketball over. And the last 4 minutes, our defense got a little stagnant. The kids weren't as active as they were earlier, and we let them come back with a couple of buckets. We got to stay active if we're going to stay in the zone. Otherwise, we got to get out and play man-to-man. But an important factor was we were able to get out of the first half with KZL with only 2 fouls right there and still maintain a little bit of a lead. But we got to turn up the heat, turn up the pressure. They're still, walking the ball up a little bit too much for us, and we got to make them play perimeter basketball. But at the same time, we got to be active, and we can't give them as good of a look at the basket as we've been giving them.
All right, Coach, go in the locker room and talk to him. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Phil. Boy, I'll tell you, Ken, those head coaches are tough to please. I know you're just like that at Sunset High. Bobby Harris leading by 9 and expecting better. We'll be back with more. It's halftime. Churchill trailing Jefferson. U.S. Bank is an important one. We're halfway through the state championship game. We've got Jefferson leading Churchill by 9. Mike O'Brien along with Ken Harris. Glad you could join us for the championship match. And Ken, it's been a good game so far. This Jefferson team on a roll doing what it wants to do right now. Well, Jefferson's pretty much had things their own way. You're right about that. They've doubled Churchill on the boards, which is kind of expected. But I think, again, the big thing truly is that Churchill's just got to shoot the ball a little better. Last night in the first half, they shot 61%. Tonight, they're under 30. Here's A.D. Smith, who has 8 points, which is well under what they'd like him to have. Well, A.D.'s been getting some baskets at the end of the Churchill offense against Jefferson's pressure, but in the half court, he has not been getting the ball to get any shots. Ime Udoka, 10 points in the half, and his mate up front, Tyrone Hammock, very active too. Yeah, all 3 of the big kids from Jefferson have done the job, but both Ime and Tyrone actually have especially been effective.
they too are making up the big part of that zone defense that's creating the problem for Churchill.
So Jefferson with the lead, even though Kazel Wesson has been out with some fouls. And as we look at those stats, look at those shooting percentages.
Well, I think the number one statistic is not the rebounds, even though Churchill does trail. It's the field goal percentage, 27-62.
All right, let's go to Phil Cassidy. He is with Churchill coach John Roach.
Coach, the adjustments you plan to make in the second half.
We thought it'd be a good idea to make a shot or two.
That helps when you score, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Phil. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the third quarter. Churchill and Jefferson, the championship to be decided next. Well, the Jefferson cheerleaders hoping to have more to cheer about. Number 22, Ime Udoka, has had a big game so far. We get ready to start the third quarter. Jefferson ball, the Democrats leading by 9. Rayford and Tyler at the guards. Hammock, Udoka, and Wesson up front. Starting lineup back in for Jefferson.
Well, Churchill sticking with the same defensive philosophy, a basic man-to-man, trying to keep good pressure on the perimeter. It hasn't been Jefferson's half-court offense that's been so devastating to Churchill. It's been more their transition game.
And Udoka, 13 points in the ball game. He leads all scorers. And it's an 11-point lead.
Here again is the Jefferson pressure, trying to get some traps, and they fall back into their zone. This time it's a 2-3 zone.
Wade off the side, rebound Ewis can't hit, and you heard Coach John Roach talking about we need to make some shots. Churchill, a 52% field goal shooting team in the tournament, making 27% in the first half and 0 for 2 here in the third quarter.
Well, that's the story of this ball game at this point. Churchill obviously cannot afford to do that. If you're going to get it rebounded 2-1, you better outshoot the other team, and that's not happening.
And the way Jefferson's rebounding in this tournament, it's pretty much a Civil War offense. You know, one shot and fall back. You just can't get a second chance. They're so good on the rebounds. But there's a foul, and Churchill will go to the line.
Well, that's exactly right. Other than maybe that one possession where Churchill got a couple offensive rebounds, they've been few and far between, and yet that's been one of the strengths. Nice pass by Kazel Wesson. And the thing that people forget is that too many players stand around the perimeter and watch when the ball goes to the post. Here's Ime Udoka making a big-time play, cut to the hoop, result 3-footer.
Wade having a rough night shooting. He's an 82%er at the line in the tournament and hits the first. He has 5 points. Third team all Midwestern League.
Well, he's an explosive player. He's a streak shooter. Unfortunately, his streak in the first half was going Jefferson's way and not Churchill. Now maybe he'll turn it around.
Also a starter in the outfield on the Churchill High baseball team. 9-point difference now, 6:40 to play in the third. Rayford, nice spin move. What a pass. Beautiful play. Basket counts and a foul.
Well, Wendell Rayford made that play happen. Great penetration. He said spin move. He had A.D. Smith's back turned, and bam, did he hit. Here it comes right here. Look at the spin move. A.D. Smith's got his head turned. There's Tyrone Hammock with the easy shot and the foul.
Foul on Smith, his second. Tyrone Hammock to the line. His favorite athlete, Scottie Pippen, because he plays hard and has great all-around skills. Sounds a little bit like Tyrone in the tournament.
It does.
A.D. Smith just over the line, doesn't go back court. Churchill controlling now, trying to set up, down by 11.
Well, one of the problems Churchill has is A.D. Smith has to help get the ball up the floor. As a result, when they break the press, he's not on the other end to convert for the shots. Other people are, and unfortunately it's not working out well for Churchill.
Well, Nixick threw it away, then gets it back. Now leads Smith, and A.D. puts it in.
Well, Gabe Nixick showed his quarterback skills. He was the offensive player of the year in the Midwestern League in football, and he had a chance to show it right there.
I thought they must have run an option, but I guess he was just a straight drop-back passer.
I think he was.
31-22, Jefferson with the ball and a 9-point lead. This is Kazel Wesson up top, guarded by Ewis.
Oh, Nixick, great play. Tremendous anticipation against that flex cut.
Here's the
this is a right-handed pass by a left-hander, so maybe
he might be able to shot put the way he threw that thing, huh?
I think so. It worked.
Inbound to Kazel Wesson, a little bit off the mark, and Ewis will work hard to take it away from Hammock.
Well, the Lancers need to get it going right here, or Coach Roach is not going to appreciate this 48th birthday as much as he might. So this is a key time for them. They can't allow Jefferson to break loose and widen this lead.
Boy, great help in there. It was Wendell Rayford who reached in and stuck his hand on that ball. A.D. Smith looking to bring it up. You know, he had his man boxed out for the layup, but the help comes and takes it away.
Exactly. There's the quick hands. I think a foul, but obviously officials didn't or didn't see it.
Well, Bobby Harris really has his team sold on defense.
That's a great asset. When you've got the size they have, you know you're going to get some offense, but are you going to play defense? And he sold them.
Mike Wade has 8. Kazel Wesson and Dan Ewis doing some bumping in the front court. Kazel loves to do the bumping. At 6'7", 250, there are not many guys he can have trouble bumping.
He's going to win most bump contests. Interesting thing, though, is Jefferson hasn't really isolated it that much and tried to get him the ball at the low post. But they've had so much success with Udoka, maybe that's the reason.
And there you go, A.D. Smith. Can he finish? It's now a 5-point game. And Jefferson wants to talk it over. You know, we heard Bobby Harris say he wasn't happy and he wants to talk to his team again. 4:21 to go, third quarter, and Churchill is closing in. A.D. Smith getting involved in the game, and he just has a knack. He'll finish left-handed this time.
You bet. Gabe Nixon gets the ball out of the trap. Nice pass to A.D. right around the top of the key. Does what players should do. Turn, look at the hoop, saw a lane, took it in, right hand, left hand, what the heck, shoots the hoop.
A.D. Smith now with 12 points in the game. He's averaging 25 a game in the tournament, led the state in scoring in the regular season at 23-5.
That's why he shoots left-hand or right-handed. When you score 23 a game, you obviously have the ability to do that.
You're getting a lot of chances to practice with both hands.
Now here's Jefferson's attempt here to isolate Cape Nixick on a Udoka. Nixick at 5'11", trying to front.
And we got a 5-second call. The Churchill defense forcing the turnover.
Well, it didn't work for Jefferson because so much pressure in the guard, he couldn't throw the ball. So the Lancers win that battle.
Brandon Hobson back in. He was a spark in the first half for Bobby Harris's team, and he's going to see if Hobson can bring back a little more magic. He had 4 points in the first half and plenty of energy to the Jefferson cause.
A little change in the Churchill strategy. What we're seeing now is that A.D. is now lining up in the middle of the key so that when the press is broken, he gets the ball and he can score and wheel and deal. They're taking him out of the backcourt, and I think that's great strategy by Coach Roach.
Dan Ewis follows his own miss. He has his first points of the game, and it's a 3-point Jefferson lead. Kazel Wesson, he has 6, and you were saying you were surprised we haven't seen more of that tonight.
That's right. They've just got to isolate their big kids and Churchill's smaller players, and they're going to get a good shot every time down the floor.
Jefferson doing a great job to collapse back on Smith in the paint, and then Churchill starting it back from the outside. This is Nixick. Murmo. A.D. Smith will follow. Good job defensively as Wesson gets in there, but then Ewis comes in to tie up Hammock, and the possession arrow is going to Churchill.
I think A.D. got intimidated a little bit by Kazel's presence. He doesn't miss many of those.
No, I haven't seen him hesitate on any shot in the tournament until that one.
That's right.
A credit to Kazel Wesson's ability. But good hustle by the Lancers, who are down 5 with 3:02 to go in the third. It's been an uphill game for Churchill. Jefferson jumped out to the early lead, has been in control throughout, but here in the third quarter, Churchill has made a nice move. Coach John Roach is celebrating his 48th birthday today. Here's A.D. Smith. He is fouled and the basket counts.
Well, I think we've got a ball game. But who's getting the basketball? In close. A.D. Smith. That's what the Lancers have to do.
The foul on Kenny McDonald. He came in right there and came in just in time to get the foul.
Tough call. That's a nice way of saying, I don't know about that one.
Well, Kenny certainly can't feel like he did anything wrong, but nonetheless, he's whistled for the foul. Smith missing the free throw. Has 14 points, and Jefferson still with the lead. Hobson and McDonald at guard now. Wesson, what's it going to be? Offensive.
Well, Dan Ewis.
He likes to take those charges.
He's done it the whole tournament. Well, it's a lesson to those post players.
Third personal foul on Wesson.
The post players have got to turn and look and see what they've got. And Kazel just turned and went to the basket. Ran him right over. Good call by the official.
Like to welcome our viewers in Eugene who have joined us on KVAL TV. The Churchill Lancers of Eugene right now trailing by 3. 2:30 to go, third quarter. Nice shot by Wade, who was ice cold early and is starting to warm up. He now has 10.
Well, you don't get to the finals of the tournament because you have a bunch of kids who give up. What you have are competitors, and that's what the Lancers are, and we're seeing it right here.
It's a one-point game. Churchill with a chance to take the lead. They trailed by as many as 13 in the first half. Wade is getting warm. A.D. Smith is getting involved. And A.D. can't hang on. But now they say Jefferson touched it last.
Well, I didn't have a good angle.
I must have a real bad angle.
I didn't have a good angle.
2:01 to play here, third quarter.
These guys get paid big money to make those calls, and I'm sure they're mostly right.
Oh, what a play.
A.D. Smith again.
A.D. Smith. And who's the foul on? It's on Wesson, I believe, his fourth. And what a huge change in this game, third quarter. Churchill leads, and Kazel Wesson has 4 personal fouls.
Well, there are sometimes key plays in ball games that turn games around. This could be one of them right here. Gabe Nixick set that up with the fake pass, hits A.D. Kazel's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now Bobby has a tough decision to make. What'll I do?
Well, Churchill, Ken, has done a great job on inbound plays. Their last 2 under the basket have resulted in hoops and fouls.
Right, and what they got is they have their smart player, their point guard, Nixick, and he's throwing the ball into a guy who's not bad, A.D. Smith, and good results.
All right, let's go over to Phil Cassidy for the latest.
Top row between section 51 and 52. And hey, how do you guys get seats this good?
Well, as you can see, they're kind of hard to come by. But I'd like to thank my 2 connections, Mike O'Brien and Ken Harris. Thanks, guys. Means a lot.
Boy, a couple of heavyweights, that'll get you through some doors, man. Good job, guys.
Well, anything we can do to help, huh?
Hey, send those 2 kids a Sunday nut bar.
What a ball game. Of course, we've seen it all week at the tournament. It's the beauty of the state tournament. You've got the 16 best teams in the state of Oregon, and it's a game of streaks night after night. We got a final down from Los Angeles. Top-ranked UCLA has defeated the Oregon Ducks 94-78.
Well, I don't think anybody probably would have dreamed of this 6 minutes ago. Jefferson was sporting a 9-point lead at the end of the half. And now they're looking at a Churchill 1-point lead with A.D. Smith in the line who can make it 2. What a turnaround.
Yeah, Churchill shot just 27% from the field in the first half to Jefferson's 62%. And it's really flip-flopped here. 3-point play for A.D. Smith. He now has 17 in the ballgame.
Well, we said he had to get 25, and I think he's on the road.
Smith has passed Charlie Sitton again, for those of you who missed it, into number 3 all-time in this tournament history for players who have been in the tournament 3 years. Some big names ahead of him, too.
Richard Washington, for one, not bad player. Sweet Holbrook, not a bad player.
And we have a turnover, and it's coming back to Churchill. And the Jefferson Democrats, who have been on a roll since the sub-tournament, are starting to unravel a bit here. A 15-2 run for the Lancers.
Again, notice the strategy. Now A.D. is getting the ball at the top of the key where he can maybe make something happen.
He can pass over that pressure.
Right.
Murmo. And that's more than a murmur from the crowd. They're on their feet. A 3-pointer for Ross Murmo.
I think the Lancers can feel it. Nice play.
He's got 5, and Udoka misses at the hoop. Boy, and Murmo was all alone down court, but A.D. Smith was protecting the ball. Now Udoka, who didn't miss his first 5 shots with the momentum switch, all of a sudden can't score at the hoop.
It's hard to explain those things sometimes, but that's exactly what happens. You know, it gets contagious. One guy misses, the next guy misses. Likewise, on the offensive end, the guys that are scoring well, like Churchill, one guy hits, next guy sticks it, and pretty soon they're all on a roll. That's what we're seeing right here.
Churchill
Look at that
leading
pass.
by 5.
Look at that
and
pass.
He's alone for the basket. The assist to Nixick. And Nixick is close to a tournament record for assists. And he wants to have his name right alongside Damon Stoudemire's, and I think he's about 2 away from getting there.
He has to have 6, 7, or 8 right in there, and he's got a quarter to play. Well, he doesn't care about the record. They want to win. There's the mismatch, and they were able to take advantage of it. Nixick not quite quick enough to take that pass away from Udoka.
15 for Udoka. He's the only Jefferson player in double figures. Churchill still leading by 5. Late third quarter. Ewis gets it across. 10 seconds. Wade is feeling better. He'll get another chance. Maybe he won't. Good quick hands. Kenny McDonald gets in there, and the possession arrow heading toward Jefferson.
Well, that's not a bad loss of possession arrow because Jefferson only has 2.7 seconds, and it means that Churchill will get the ball back to quarter. So all things taken, Churchill will settle for that.
Wendell Rayford back in, so Jefferson going with 3 guards. McDonald, Rayford, and Tyler. Well, that'll be the end of 3 quarters, and right now, what a switch we've had. The Churchill Lancers, looking for a first ever state championship, are leading by 5. A run of 20-2 has catapulted Churchill into the commanding position as we get ready to start the 4th quarter.
Well, you don't see this happen very often in a state championship game. It's great credit to Churchill. They're here partly because they did this early in the tournament. In the quarterfinal against Roseburg, they outscored Roseburg 19-4 in the third quarter, so they've done it before. But now it's nitty-gritty time. Jefferson's going to turn up the heat defensively. Lancers are going to have to handle that.
Jefferson has not had much playing time from Kazel Wesson. A.D. Smith misses, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Democrats. Kazel Wesson has been in foul trouble much of this game, and he's on the pines right now with 4.
Well, that hurts Jefferson because, again, that's one of the mismatches they have down at that end of the floor and enables Churchill to match up a little better, though they still have Nixick trying to guard Udoka.
They have 3 guards in. Shot is off the mark. Udoka, good effort, and he will go to the free throw line. A heady play by Ime Udoka, second team All-PIL. He's a senior.
Well, and that's the result of that mismatch we were just talking about. The ball came off on his side of the rim, and Nixick was there, but he's 5'11", and Udoka at 6'6". He just went over the top, got the rebound, and really draws the foul.
Udoka, 13 points a game in the tournament, just a shade under 14 for the season. What a huge game he had against Central Catholic, and he had 17 points and 19 rebounds that night. And there is Kazel Wesson just biding his time, composing himself for his chance a little later.
Yeah, not exactly a happy camper. Who wants to be on the bench in the 4th quarter of the state championship game? But that's what happens. He'll get his chance, though. Key is when does Bobby decide to go with him.
17 for Udoka. Rayford going for the steal, nearly gets it, but Nixick controls. Jefferson looking to turn up the heat. Rayford again with the quick hands, but it'll still be Churchill ball.
Well, but Nixick's doing what he has to do. You know, he's got to be careful about not just moving back and forth laterally across the court. He's got to penetrate towards the basket and try to create something, and that's what he was trying to do.
Well, his greatest inspiration in sports, Rayford, is Pat Strickland, a former fine star in this tournament. He played at Wilson High, Oregon State, and Strickland, like Rayford, a very good defensive player. Boy, that's 3 great attempts he has made at the ball, and you can see that this Jefferson team looking to regain some momentum.
Well, one of the things that Churchill does so well, they're so fundamentally sound that they jump stop well, they have great body control, they break traps real well. Well coached. Here's Nixick again, doing the penetration he has to do, but again, the quick hands from behind, and the ball goes out of bounds. Mike Wade is stepping up.
Yes, sir. Mike Wade has 14 in the game.
Well, he's a baseball player. You know, it's the 7th inning of a high school game, and he's got to step up there and get on base, and he did it.
And a turnover, a travel.
Now, presently, I think the Jefferson guards are trying to do a little too much themselves. They need to get the ball to those big guys.
Little pressure here on the man-to-man. Talk about Mike Wade. He missed his first 6 shots tonight, but he's probably a streak hitter in baseball and a streak shooter here. And there's Rayford getting the steal he's been after. And Nixick called for the foul, looking for a little return.
That's not a bad foul, though. He was probably going to give up the layup, and Churchill only had 2 team fouls. Not a bad decision on his part. Only his 2nd foul. But Rayford has great quickness, as you can see.
3rd team foul on Churchill in the quarter. In the half, actually. The bonus is at 7. Neither team close yet. There's Kenny McDonald setting up Tyler. That hasn't been Tyler's game. Hammock on the follow. And the rebound to Udoka. This is what Jefferson has done so well. And A.D. Smith finally clears. And Murmo.
A hard foul. Boy, that's a hard foul.
Takes a very hard fall.
Churchill's asking for a goaltend. I don't think they're going to get the goaltend. I don't think they're going to get the deliberate foul that they want. Here he comes hard. You can tell. That's a tough call, I'll tell you. He's going, I guess, for the ball, but...
It's the first personal foul on Rayford, and Ross Murmo with a few little cobwebs there. Now, he's known as a guy who plays defense and hits big free throws. That's going to be his role. The defense starts with him at the point, and he's been a guy that has done the little things for this team.
That's exactly right, and he's had some opportunities in games earlier this year where he had to make some big free throws, and he's got it once again.
Has not missed a free throw in the tournament as of yet. And you saw Kazel Wesson coming back in for Jefferson with 6:09 to play.
I have to tell you that I think that foul that was just committed is a result of kids watching too much NBA. I just don't think that kids in high school should be committing those kinds of fouls.
Well, Murmo gets up off the mat and hits both free throws, so he has 7, and Churchill, with its biggest lead of the night, 7 points.
Well, they've got the tempo where they want it. Jefferson has the foul troubles if there are any, and they're shooting the ball well. They're full of confidence.
Kenny McDonald.
And again, you'll notice the good pressure they're putting on the guards, which allows the guards to penetrate. It also forces them to put the ball on the floor rather than throw it into the big guys. So Churchill's strategy is paying off very well.
And look at the nice play. That was a good play by Ewis, who helped knock that ball away from Wesson, and then A.D. Smith cleared the rebound. Little teamwork by the Lancers.
Well, the coach Churchill says, let's run flex, which is kind of a baseline cutting offense, but they didn't have to. They got fouled.
Rayford, reaching in again, picks up his 2nd personal foul, team foul number 6.
Fortunately for Jefferson, Churchill's taking the ball out of bounds on the side rather than underneath the basket, because that's been their best offense all night.
Brandon Hobson back in for Bobby Harris's Jefferson team. So it's Hobson and Rayford at the guards. Hammock, Udoka, and Wesson up front. This is A.D. Smith with Ime Udoka guarding him. And there's a turnover.
Ooh, A.D. Smith. I'm not sure why he committed that foul. We'll have to ask A.D. after the game about that one. I'm not sure what was going through his mind here. I guess he thought that Ime was going to get the ball and get a lay-in.
3rd personal foul on Smith. Team foul number 4 on Churchill. 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Jefferson with the ball, trailing by 7. Rayford to the basket for 2. First points in the game for Wendell Rayford.
Well, that was a called play from the bench. A little clear-out action for the guard. Worked very successfully.
Bobby Harris wanting pressure. Nixick has the ball taken away, and make that Ewis there to pick it up.
Wow. Well, Churchill once again comes out that's pretty well. Looked like they were going to give up an easy basket.
Boy, Jefferson very quick all over the floor, and the Lancers just somehow hanging on to the ball here time and time again. And we've got a timeout with 4:32 to play in this ball game. We're coming down to a great finish. Churchill leading by 5. It's a 5-point lead for Churchill. Let's go to Phil Cassidy for the strategy update.
Well, Jefferson wants to go to Kazel Wesson, only 6 points. They want to get him more involved. Churchill is talking about moving the ball a little better, not hanging on to it and turning it over.
All right, thank you, Phil. Kenny McDonald in. There's the inbounds play to Smith. He misses, and he cannot follow. We have a foul inside.
Well, he didn't get the basket, but I think they got the foul call.
They're going to call it on Ime Udoka. That'll be his first personal. And it's bonus time. That's team foul number 7. So it's time to shoot free throws for A.D. Smith. And, of course, like everything else, he can do it well. 82% of the tournament.
You bet. You know, think if I was Churchill, every time I got the ball, I would drive to that baseline, bang it off of one of the Jefferson players' legs so I could have my inbounds play underneath. They have gotten something good almost every inbound plays underneath the basket. But then they've got A.D. in the receiving end. That's one of the reasons.
Smith, the unanimous player of the year in the Midwestern League, now has 19 points in the ball game. And a 7-point lead with 4.5 minutes to go.
Well, he's 6 away from his 25.
Ken Harris's magic 25. You called it when it didn't seem like he had a chance of getting there. You got to take up coaching for a living. Oh, Udoka can't keep the handle, and it's turnover to Churchill. Now, keep in mind, Churchill has never won a state title. The Lancers played for the title back in '79, but lost to McMinnville. And you see Udoka losing the grip. They lost to McMinnville in 2 overtimes, 41-39, and my broadcast partner, Ken Harris, is very much involved in that game as the coach of the Churchill Lancers.
Right, it's a long time ago. Some good memories and some memories that could have been a little better, but
anytime you lose in double overtime, you're always thinking about that one thing that could have been different. Wade is a little off the mark, and there's Wesson clearing the rebound. Kazel has had his playing time limited by the fouls tonight. He's had a huge tournament. I thought coming into play today, the surefire first-team all-tournament players were Kazel Wesson and A.D. Smith.
Well, probably still going to be the case, but the coaches voted halftime for one thing. But again, Churchill's pressure on the guards, notice, is disrupting the Jefferson offense. Once in a while they give up some dribble penetration, but overall it's been very effective.
Ewis trying to make it tough on Wesson. He does. Wade in there helping to screen out, and the Democrats just cannot control. Remember, they have dominated the boards in this tournament. Bobby Harris want a little more effort right now. They've out-rebounded opponents by an average of 18, and at last report, I think they were up 6 or 7 in this game, so they haven't been able to really control it.
No, they haven't, especially this second half. They have not been able to convert off the offensive board from the putbacks.
Paul Wade.
Traveling. Yes, he picked up that pivot foot before the ball left his hand and trying to get a little running start.
Referee Lee Sparks on top of that one, and Rayford is back in. McDonald checking out.
Coach Roach would just assume that Mike Wade would take a little bit more time off the clock, maybe. Not be so anxious here. They're down under the 3-minute mark.
Yep, 2:50, 2:49 and counting. And Rayford, what a shot. Oh, that's a tough one to put in. A little bit of style for Wendell Rayford. He has 4.
Well, it's the same play they ran just a little bit ago, except the other side of the floor. They're pretty much just clearing it out and saying, here, beat them, 1-on-1.
Ewis with the handoff to Nixick. And again, the quick hands of Rayford. Nixick diving to get it back. And Udoka finishes. So Wendell Rayford's intensity on defense is paying off for Jefferson. He is going all out to create turnovers.
Well, Udoka's doing everything he can to bring the Democrats out a winner, and he has been a real spark for them. What a pass by Gabe Nixick.
A.D. Smith will finish the play, but Nixick now has had bronchitis for 3 weeks. He still has it, and he has been weakened, and I don't think he's been out a minute in this game.
No, he hasn't. Neither has A.D. Well, he just had the ball stripped from him, Nixick. You know, a lot of players drop their head, oh, woe is me, I made a mistake. What did he do? Come back down, make a great pass for the assist.
And he looks very tired. Nixick is really gasping, but he's driving in, and he's going to get the foul. And there's one tired person right there.
He should stay down for a 9 count. That'd be my suggestion. Well, again, notice what he's doing here. He's taking the ball to the basket, knowing that he's probably not going to shoot it, but something else will happen. In this case, a foul. Gabe Nixick is also an outstanding free throw shooter. However, he's so tired, I'm not sure he's going to get the ball to the rim. 141.
Gabe Nixick again. 4.0 student, scored 1480 on his SATs. He's out of the planet. As a freshman in Eugene, they took a national math test, and he had the highest score in all 4 of the high schools in Eugene. This kid is brilliant, and he's pretty accurate, too. He hits both free throws.
Well, he's a competitor.
First 2 points of the game for Nixick. His father, Mike, is an assistant coach on this team, and listed by many of the Churchill players as one of their great inspirations. There's Ross Mermo reaching in and committing the foul.
Well, that's true. Gabe Nixick has learned a lot from his dad, and I think Mike Nixick is instrumental in the defense that you're seeing out here that the Lancers are playing.
Of course, on Cabe's questionnaire that he filled out, he too said that his father has been the greatest inspiration in his academic and athletic career. 7-point lead, Churchill. Jefferson ball, minute 28 to play.
Again, Jefferson's got to score here, hopefully within 5 to 10 seconds on their part, and then get the timeout.
The entire Jefferson team is up, and there is 3.
Get the press on. They didn't get their timeout, however. Bobby Harris yelling, jumping up, down, call time, but they didn't get it.
Minute and 12 to play. Jeff, not a great 3-point shooting team, but they got the 3 they needed. Wade in a little trouble. Handles it nicely.
Well, Churchill, I don't think, is going to shoot that ball unless they get a layup. They're going to go to the free throw line and try to win it there.
Dan Ewis is fouled. He's a 65% free throw shooter, and that's a smart foul. You stop the clock and hope to get that ball back.
Well, you've got some coaches sweating bullets over there, I'll tell you that. When you're ahead 4, you think you're only ahead 1. When you're behind 4, you think you're behind 10. It always seems like the mountain is bigger.
Rayford gets his 3rd personal foul, and A.D. Smith for 2.
He is a winner.
What a player. 23 for A.D. Smith. It's a 6-point game, and out of bounds to Jefferson.
What a key clutch hoop for A.D. Smith. Couldn't come at a better time for the Lancers.
And timeout, Jefferson. Bobby Harris.
Well, that's a tough timeout to have to use that just to get the ball in bounds. You need to save those in order to stop the clock later on, but
44 seconds to play in the game, or 43.9 for those who want to be down for the 10th of a second. And the Churchill Lancers leading by 6, and here is A.D. Smith again.
He has a great feel around the basket. Notice again, he turned, saw what he had, released the ball a little bit early to prevent the block.
Now, is that just an instinctive thing? Can you coach that?
I don't think so. I mean, you talk to kids, but you gotta have the instinct and savvy to grasp and understand and do it under pressure. That's a key. This kid's doing it under pressure.
Well, we have seen him make so many different kinds of shots around the basket in this tournament. He's made them left-handed, he's made them right-handed, he's made them reverse. He's gone with little scoop shots. We saw him come in left-handed and lay one in nicely. I mean, he just has the ability to, whatever shot's needed, he seems to have that shot.
Well, he does what it takes to get the job done. You know, college coaches are asked, well, can he go out to the 3-point line and shoot? Well, my guess, if you ask him to, he'd do it.
Well, this is
23, I think he needs 25.
That's what you've been saying. But see, we're getting all excited, and this is just an average game for A.D. Smith.
It is.
He's just great every night out.
It is. Well, it isn't over. There's 6-point difference, but there are 43.9 ticks, and Jefferson has a lot of weapons.
And Churchill, however, is hitting free throws tonight right now. 13 of 15 at the line. Let's go to Phil Cassidy.
Obviously, Jefferson needs the three. They're working for two options, Wendell Rayford and Brandon Hobson. Let's see what happens.
There's an easy basket. Oh! I thought Gazelle had an easy one there. It just wouldn't go for him.
And we got a whistle and I think a foul. Jefferson hoping for a jump ball. A.D. Smith looked like he wanted to kind of swing, was afraid to really uncork.
Gazelle's got to convert on this. Just doesn't get the roll. And then somebody comes back here. Either I don't know who they're going to call that one on. If it's Gazelle, he's out of the game. So they must have called it on Ime Udoka.
Yeah, that's the second personal foul on Udoka. And A.D. Smith going to the line. 33.9 seconds now. And the Lancers with a 6-point lead and hoping to add to it. And it's money time with A.D. Smith.
Now, I think you got to bet on number 50 making those shots.
Gets them both. He has 25 now.
Now, 25 should be the magic.
It's an 8-point game. Ball stripped away by Wade beautifully, and Smith will bring it up court.
Ooh.
And Wade is fouled by Tyrone Hammett.
A right uppercut, I think. Not on purpose, of course, but trying to strip the ball.
Well, the Churchill Lancers down 13 in the first half with an amazing second half turnaround, and a disappointed Jefferson Democrat team, which has had just an amazing run through the sub-tournament. They beat Canby and then went to LeGrand to win, turned right around and drove to South Medford. 1,200 miles in the sub-tournament just to get here. Then they knocked off the defending champ Central Catholic. Then they took care of McMinnville, upset Wilson last night.
A lot of credit.
And we're looking like champions earlier tonight, and they're still going to have a great season. It appears they'll finish second, and what a great effort.
Take a miracle here but miracles happen sometimes, but it'll take about a miracle for him to get this one. Got to stop that clock.
Kazel Weston has 8 points.
Well, it'll take obviously a couple quick steals. Jefferson's going to have to get this inbounds pass. Even a foul is not going to get it done for him because the ball is going to end up down the other end of the floor, even if Churchill misses the free throw.
Jefferson has used its last timeout. That was the fourth for the Democrats. 13 seconds to play. Only 8 points in the game for Kazel Wesson.
Well,
and not many minutes either.
Right, excuse me. If Churchill is aware of the timeout situation, they basically can let Jefferson go down there and score and then just sit there and hold the ball with a 6-point lead. Well, you have to give a lot of credit to Jefferson to be in this championship game. I think, that's a tremendous amount of emotional up and downs that they've had to endure. It maybe caught up with them a little bit tonight. At the halftime, they may have thought, well, things are under control. Maybe eased off on the throttle a little bit. Here's Churchill, the underdog. What do you got to lose? And they came out and just had a fantastic third quarter. And Jefferson has worked hard to try to respond, but struggled.
And talking to Bobby Harris today, he said, the thing I'm really concerned about tonight isn't this game, but it's a former player, Sean Penny, who went to Maryland Eastern Shore on a scholarship, developed a heart problem, and they have not been able to diagnose the problem. And Sean Penny, who had some great games in this tournament himself, is right now at Emmanuel Hospital and is partially paralyzed, was listening to the game last night on the radio, and Bobby said they made him turn off the game because his blood pressure was going so high. And that's the kind of thing that Bobby Harris enjoys so much, or his former players staying close. And he wanted us to pass on, his best, and of course our best too, to Sean Penny tonight.
You bet. There's some things a little more important than basketball games.
Bobby Harris in his first final game tonight, yet to win a state title. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, he says that's not the reason he coaches, but as a coach, Ken, that the people around the program, that's the reason they want to be involved very often.
They have those expectations. I'm beginning to see Coach Roach's hair turn from gray to brown. He may be only 36 tonight.
Yeah, he just lost a dozen years here in the second half. 10 seconds to go, a 6-point lead. And a foul by Nixon. He just doesn't want this game to end.
Well, he's doing that because they don't have 7 fouls yet. So they can foul, stop the clock, and disrupt Jefferson's offense. So a very smart play by a very smart player, probably told by a very smart coach.
6-point game, 7 seconds to go. Both coaches looking for their first state title. Jefferson, as a team, won it back in '72, and this will be Churchill's first ever state championship in basketball. And that'll do it. It's over. One of the more remarkable comebacks you will see has transpired tonight at the Coliseum. And the PIL, which had 3 of the final 4, ends up taking the bridesmaid roles as the Churchill Lancers celebrate the school's first state championship in basketball, and the folks in Eugene have got to be proud of this team.
Well, it was quite a contest. Both teams could be proud of themselves. I'm sure Jefferson feels very disappointed, but you know, the sun will come up tomorrow and they'll feel a little better, and next week a little better. They've had a great season. Tribute to their coach, to their players, and all their fans. To the Lancers, what a great feeling.
Well, the perfect capper to a great career for A.D. Smith, and you can see the Jefferson family really struggling with the emotions. So much at stake, and it really hurts right now. A.D. Smith.
A.D. Smith, what does this feel like? I can't believe it. I can't believe it's over. Came back 9 points down to halftime. We really thought we could do it. We came out real soft, and we're state champs.
They were just dominating you guys. I mean, what made you think you could do that?
Man, that was my bad. I got off to a terrible start. A little shaky, a little tight. I didn't lead us very well in the first half. The guys stepped up. Those guys stepped up on defense. Got us the lead back. It's all them.
Why didn't their pressure bother you as much as they did in the first half?
I don't know. We're a defensive pressure team. We go through it every day in practice. We knew we could go up against it. They're quicker than we are, but we figured we could do it.
Coach sort of yelled at you on the bench during that one timeout, said you got to get it going. Did that fire you up? It looked like it did.
Coach, we've been playing here for 3-4 years. We know what we had to do. Coach didn't have to tell us. It's in our heart. We have to win. It's in our heart.
Come up to Portland and win a state title. I mean, you beat the PIL, basically. That's the best league going.
That's incredible, man. Everybody says PIL is #1. We came in 3 out of 4 PIL teams. We're a state champ.
Congratulations, A.D. Great job. All right. Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Phil. The Lancers prevailing, and that is the championship trophy. They always like the blue one. That's the one they're shooting for. And let's go back to Phil with Coach John Roach.
Coach, you got it, finally. How's it feel?
Yeah, we didn't believe this about a PIL Invitational, and I think most of the city believed that, but our kids, the 5 starters are seniors, and they had a lot of belief in each other, and they played as a team. We've been behind before. I couldn't be prouder.
How about A.D. Smith? A slow start for him. You sort of challenged him during that time.
This year, he didn't get to play. He has 1 more year of high school left.
You wish.
Yeah.
But a great game for him, Coach. He responded when you got after.
He's had 81 games, and almost all of them been like that. That's how hard he practices. He's a polite, great kid.
Were they panicking when you were down, Coach? You were down 13 at one point, I believe.
No, we don't like to get down 13, but we think we can come back, and 13 might have been a little much against somebody that good, that talented, and that big, but we just chipped away. I think it was 25-12.
And back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Phil. The Churchill Lancers winning over Jefferson again, 54-48. And Phil Cassidy is standing by with Mike Wade of the Churchill Lancers.
Mike Wade, great game for you. You know, it's not all A.D. Smith. Mike Wade and Mick Sick come to play, too. You guys got to feel pretty good about that, a team effort.
We're trying to help them out. We got the big man in the middle, and with 100% effort, we knew the shots didn't go down in the first half, but second half we played tough D, and we were all over them.
So it didn't turn out to be the PIL Invitational as everybody thought.
No. It just shows defense is the key. Got to play defense.
Why didn't their pressure bother you as much in the second half as it did in the first half? They seem to get a lot of easy ones off you in the first half.
Yeah, we were just trying to stay cool and not lose our head, and just keep your head, stay in the game, and it'll come to you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Mike, back to you guys.
All righty, Churchill wins the title. Jefferson coming in second. We'll be back with the awards presentation right after this. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The awards are being presented this evening by Wes Ediger, Executive Director of Oregon School Activities Association, John Eskelson, President of U.S. Bank of Oregon, and OSAA Executive Board members Bob Stolick and Bob O'Neill. The first presentation this evening will be the annual Sportsmanship Awards and will be made by John Eskelson for U.S. Bank, the official sponsor of the Sportsmanship Awards. Winning third place in the sportsmanship competition is Glencoe High School. Will a representative please come forward to receive the award? Winning second place in the sportsmanship competition is Lake Ridge. Will a representative please come forward to receive the award? And winning first place in the sportsmanship competition is Central Catholic High School. Will a representative from Central Catholic please come forward? OSAA Executive Board members Bob Stolick and Bob O'Neill will now present the team trophies. The consolation winner this year is McNary High School. Will a representative please come forward to receive the award? The fourth place winner this year is Beaverton High School. Will a representative from Beaverton please come forward? The third place winner this year is Benson High School. John Eskelson of U.S. Bank and Wes Ediger of the OSAA will now present the silver medals to the second place team members. Will the Jefferson High School team please line up on the foul line in numerical order? Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause please for the runner-ups, the Democrats of Jefferson High. Number 3, guard Wendell Rayford. Number 4 is guard Dirk Tyler. Number 5, guard Terry Foster.